Hello, I'm the Programming Dunce, and today I will go over the basics of Rust programming. In the previous video, we installed the Rust system and set up a Hello World program. While there was a glimpse of the code, we didn't discuss what that code did or how it was structured. Before I discuss functions, which I am tempted to do first, I feel it would be better to briefly discuss variables and their types. Rust can deduce the type of a variable if you assign it in the same line you declare it. So if you let x equal 5, x will become an integer. I feel the need to briefly mention mutability. By default, variables are immutable, meaning you can only assign them once. Any subsequent assignment will be flagged by the compiler. So in order to get the statement x equals 6 to work, we need to make x mutable, and we can do so with the mut operator. Now x can work as it would in other languages like C++. While you can declare new variables in Rust using the let keyword and let Rust decide what type that variable is, you can also clarify the variable type as well. The table shown showcases the basic integer types and their name in both C, C++, and their Rust counterparts. As far as I can tell, Rust only supports regular signed floats, no unsigned floats. There are other types available, such as characters, strings, arrays, tuples, and structs, but those are topics for a later video. It is time to discuss functions, which are highlighted by the keyword fn. Not just fn, not fn2187. In parentheses, you declare variables, but here you need to clarify their type, as their values are provided when the function is called elsewhere in your program. If the function returns a value, then it expresses that with a dash arrow followed by the type. In that case, there are two ways to return a value. You can either return the value using the return keyword, or simply forgo the semicolon, making the function act more like an expression that it is evaluated to. The two versions of the same function showcase this. I last want to point out the println statement. It takes in a string, but like printf in C, it also takes in variables, though this example doesn't specify the type in the string, but simply uses curly braces. I should also mention that println is actually a macro in Rust, as Rust macros can be identified by the exclamation point at the end of a term. Macros in Rust are somewhat complex, so they too are for a different video. Let's take a look at this Rust program. I have 3 functions declared. All of them take in a signed integer for a parameter. The add functions I have showcase the 2 mechanisms Rust provides. The first one returns the result the way you would write it in another language like C, C++, Java, C#. The second add function returns the values as an expression. In main, I declare x and y as integers. X is immutable, meaning once I set it to 2, it is 2. If I foresaw changing it later, as I do with y, I would have added a mut to the declaration. I then showcase my functions in action, printing out x and y, and then their sums. Here is our Rust program in action. In the next Rust video, I will show more features of Rust, including if, loops, match, and enums.